Welcome to AC Today's special camp edition. In this episode, we'll be talking about Camp Danny Davis. As many of you know, 1 week after camp meeting, we open up these grounds to our 9 to 16-year-olds to have the Camp Danny Davis experience. This year, we sat down and spoke with our camp director, Pastor Patrick Graham, as well as put together a few highlights so you can see what really happened during those 2 weeks. Check it out. Camp Daniel L. Davis kicked off on Sunday, July 13th. Parents and guardians registered their campers, signed necessary documents, and bid their young people farewell. Campers then took their camp pics and signed their names on the memory wall. Once campers moved into their cabins, they gathered in the gym where camp director, Pastor Patrick Graham, laid down some ground rules. Soon after, the campers were ready for some icebreaker activities. Friendly competition was just what was needed to allow the campers to get to know one another. Once all the fun was done, campers closed out the first day with worship. The next day, camp was in full swing. Each morning, fitness guru Michael Davis led the kids in an exciting exercise routine. The rest of the week was filled with activities. Tuesdays and Thursdays were designated for outings. Camp Davis traveled to Dorney Park and Ozzy's Family Fun Center in the first week, and then Hershey Park, Franklin Institute, and Sky Zone during the second week. The other weekdays were spent in classes on the grounds. There was ceramics, taught by resident experts Ernie and Sandy Norwood. There was also a new class, puppetry, which was taught by Daniel Williams, as well as archery, swimming, basketball, and other sports. Each evening, campers held worship service under the pavilion with an uplifting song service and special message. On both Sabbaths, campers held service on the grounds, where campers were the platform participants. They performed several original skits and praise dances put together by the camp counselors and campers, as well as performed several musical selections. On Sabbath evenings, campers visited Blue Marsh Lake to enjoy nature and close the Sabbath. All in all, Camp Davis was full of fun, adventure, friends, fellowship, praise, and just a plain old good time. And what is camp without a few bloopers? Check back with us periodically for more fun clips from Camp Davis. All right, Pastor Graham.
Yep.
We're here, just wrapped up another year of Camp Davis. This is your second year as camp director. How would you rate this year compared to last year?
Well, the first time I was trying to get my bearings, see how things was going to be. And then this year I'm just learning quite a bit. And I think it worked out just fine.
Yeah, it seems like it was a good camp.
It was.
Now this year, it seems like we had a lot of community students, those who didn't necessarily come from our Adventist churches.
No. Well, it's we put out a call out there for those who had people in their different communities that would get on board, and they came the quickest. I think we had more non-Adventists this year than we've had at any other time, and it's really pushing me now to next year to do more community, even Pottstown area and Douglasville area for people to come in maybe daytime, but they learned quite a bit of what we had to offer, and then I was surprised at how they, took to Camp Danny Davis.
Yeah, they really blended in very well. Now, big reason why we were able to invite community students was because of a grant, if you will, by one of our own churches, Reaching Hearts. The pastors there felt that was an important evangelistic tool that they wanted to support.
Yeah, and I was grateful for that, and we look forward for other churches to do that in the future. That grant gave us the ability to put more kids on that could not afford it, and that grant also requires us to continue to work with them. So it's not just for Camp Danny Davis, but for their families to belong to the churches, and we continue partnering with those families. So I appreciate the pastors for coming together and their ministry council for coming together to help us with that endeavor. We still look forward for other churches to help along with that.
Yeah, after all, that's what Camp Davis is about,
Yes.
reaching the community. Yeah. Okay, so ages 9 through 16. You're always, when you get that age group together, you're always going to have a lot of fun. What were some of the highlights or some of the activities from camp?
Well, first of all, I want to say that we had an excellent ACT team that worked with us. They were a great source of help. and look forward to seeing most of them back next year. But I also enjoyed the trips. They had a Dorney Park trip, and they had a Hershey Park trip that I thought was great for them to leave the grounds, and they went out to the museum out in Philadelphia.
Franklin Institute.
Franklin Institute. So they had a great experience out there. I want to add some more things next year along with it. But 9 to 16, we prayed a lot. But I think this was a great 2 weeks.
Yeah, and of course, in addition to the trips that they went on, we also had some classes here on the ground, ceramics and puppetry. And surprisingly, one of the highlights was the early morning exercise. They really enjoyed Michael Davis and the workouts.
Working out in the mornings.
So much so that they were up early so they could be there at 7:30. So that was great. So we know another year's coming up. It's never too early to start preparing for the next Camp Davis. You know, the registration will be online, so you can start those payment plans, because I know you keep saying that you just want to keep raising those numbers year after year.
Yeah, we look forward to going. My personal goal is 150 for this year, and to get with the pastors early and get with the families early to make sure that everyone is prepared. It is an expense.
Yes.
But one thing that I do recognize with these children coming together, they form a bond. They look forward to coming back next year. The older ones look forward to becoming a part of the counseling team. And I also enjoy the fact that they love the grounds, getting away from some of our cities. And they also attach to our school, because we have a lot of our Pine Forge students that work with us and have come along. So there are quite a few people who want to attend Pine Forge, and quite a few that has met Christ as their personal Savior, which I think is one of the biggest things. They stay in contact with each other, and I'm still getting it on my Facebook and different communications that they want to know more about Christ. So next year we're looking to have it a little bit bigger.
That's right.
And a lot more informative, and of course Christ-centered.
Definitely. Well, thanks for talking with us. We know Camp Davis was great. We're going to see some clips from there and see all the fun that the kids were having. And we thank you for joining us.
Hey, no problem.